Welcome to Westernacher's Warehouse Billing Solution webinar. In this webinar, we will look at typical billing issues experienced by logistic service providers and how they can be overcome by Westernacher's Warehouse Billing Solution. My name is Caroline Bateman and I will lead you through this webinar. My colleague Hitu will then demonstrate the functionality. Westernacher built the warehouse billing solution after witnessing firsthand the problems experienced by logistics service providers. We observed that LSPs have to excel at responding quickly. Clients' requests change frequently, and they often require new services to be performed ASAP. For LSPs to seize new opportunities, they need to be able to invoice any new service accurately and efficiently. Doing so can be extremely time-consuming. Hence, we observe these typical billing issues. Work carried out but being lost and simply not billed at all. Having to resort to general assumptions and even guesswork. Manual tracking, which is both time-consuming and error-prone. The resulting invoice inaccuracy significantly increases back-office workload and makes it very difficult to forecast revenue accurately, not to mention negatively impacting the all-important order-to-cash process. Westernacher designed the warehouse billing solution to assist LSPs overcome these very real challenges. Westernacher's billing solution can improve efficiency, customer satisfaction, and ultimately profitability. It efficiently provides accurate itemized invoices for all the warehouse tasks performed for a client on demand. The initial implementation can be carried out in just days. Once set up, it automatically calculates the correct invoice values based on the actual work carried out for a client. Should a client query an item on an invoice, there is full traceability. The solution cleverly makes use of all the extremely rich and powerful standard ERP pricing functionality, allowing LSPs to make rates as simple or as complex as they require. Should a new opportunity arise where a client requests a totally new service never provided before, it can be added rapidly without writing any code whatsoever or having to create manual invoices, thus ensuring that efficient cash collection and customer satisfaction are maintained no matter how dynamic the environment. Westernacher's billing solution turns billing of services into a precise science. No more guesswork or estimates. It's worth mentioning a few highlights. The system can be implemented in a matter of days. It is self-contained and will not negatively impact any future enhancements or upgrades. The standard solution is delivered with numerous predefined client services, but it is totally flexible and more can be added. We will see shortly that it is a real-time solution that seamlessly integrates EWM and ERP. The solution incorporates a powerful simulation tool that can be used to validate invoices and, where necessary, even retrospectively amend the way billing information is collected. The benefits of this solution are: bills are based on fact rather than feel. The process is totally automated, thus ensuring accuracy. Real-time integration means invoices can be created on demand. And it allows LSPs to take full advantage of SAP's rich pricing functionality. All of these enable LSPs to rapidly incorporate new services, which they can automatically bill accurately. Now, my colleague Hitu will introduce the scenario we will demonstrate.
Now we will take a look at both ERP and EWM. In ERP, we will see sales and distribution transactions and the warehouse billing solution. In EWM, we have both warehouse activities and data collectors. Firstly, we see a contract that defines all activities we need to bill the client. Then, in EWM, we see the warehouse activities that have been conducted for this client and how they are collected in the background using the standard billing collectors. The demo will show a simple scenario, all goods receipted items, but you can see that there are other billing collectors that are provided in standard. The solution is so flexible that we could be more specific and only collect all stock receipted as bonded stock for a particular product group. The warehouse billing solution takes the relevant information from the contract and the actual warehouse activities performed to calculate an invoice. From the simulation, the billing data can be collected and validated back in EWM reports. Once we have created invoices that automatically apply all the relevant pricing, we produce an accurate itemized invoice. Now let's go into the system and see how this looks. In ERP, let's navigate to our first step, the client contract. Here we can see a contract for our specific LSP client. These are the warehouse activities that we have agreed to be performed on the client's behalf. Here we have 4 services, but there's no limit to the number of service items that can be billed. We can hold prices in the contract for providing these services. In SAP, the pricing can be determined as and when required, and we will see more of this later. For the purposes of this demo, we are going to take a closer look at the goods receipt items. Still in ERP, our second step is the warehouse billing transaction, where we can calculate the client's invoice. In the warehouse billing transaction, we now need to bill the client for a specific period against their contract. The time frame can be set up as required, weekly or monthly or quarterly. This will bring up all the service items on the contract. We can bill for one service or all the services. Let's check our goods receipt item service by running the simulation. We can see that we have a total of 35 pieces that need to be billed. Now let's navigate to EWM to view the warehouse billing data. The standard EWM warehouse monitor has been enhanced by the Westernacher billing solution to provide additional data seen here under the custom tool node. We will have a look specifically at the GR items that have been collected. Some of the items have been invoiced and the others have not. These do not have a billing document assigned. Let's select all the GR items that have not been billed for this particular client. If we now total all these GR items, we can see that this total matches the simulated total in the billing transaction. Now back in ERP, we can create the invoice request from the warehouse billing transaction. We can execute and to create a temporary billing document that can be used back in EWM to validate the warehouse activities assigned to the invoice. And after final validation, we can use this billing document to generate an invoice request. If we check our invoice request, we can see that served the quantity calculated. A price has been agreed with the client upfront for a billing period. This is using standard sales and distribution condition techniques, which are totally flexible and can be configured at each different warehouse activity service with various pricing models. In our case, this has been based on scaling rules. Our quantity of 35 has been charged for accordingly. Billing can be run manually in a two-step process that allows us to double-check the invoice, or it can be fully automated and the invoice can be generated from the invoice request. Still in ERP, we can display our invoice document. We can double-check that the invoice has been generated correctly and make any changes required at this point. We can then also check the paperwork that is generated from the invoice. Finally, we can navigate to our invoice request document. In our invoice request, we can navigate to document flow and view the links between the documents, between the contract, the invoice request and the final invoice. This completes our billing cycle. In summary, we have demonstrated that Westernacher's billing solution has real-time integration, a totally automated process for providing activity-based billing, comprehensive pricing functionality, numerous predefined services as standard, and the flexibility to add new services. Westernacher's billing solution enables LSPs to rapidly incorporate new services and automatically calculate accurate invoices. Now we have reached the end of this webinar. If you would like to get in contact with us, we are happy to serve you. You can email us on sem@westernacher.com. At this point, I would like to say thank you very much for participating, and I hope I will see you again in one of our further webinar series we provide. All the best, and see you soon.